how to behave with someone who has an avoidant attachment style so that the relationship can develop. A person with an avoidant attachment style is afraid of emotional closeness, and they will often avoid having any deep conversations, and they often pull away when they start to feel something. Pressure on oneself, for example, the partner's desire to sort things out and talk about some painful topic can be perceived by the avoidant as pressure. The avoidant person will shut down even more and won't be ready to talk, especially about topics that require understanding. Characteristics of the avoidant attachment type. The avoidant is afraid of intimacy because he may have had some kind of childhood trauma or was rejected at some conscious age, maybe in adolescence, and he is now afraid of a repetition, or he is very much afraid of losing control over his own life. And that's exactly why they're afraid to get close. Everything that happens too quickly is really scary for someone who is avoidant. So he's scared to open up. He's scared to trust. With an avoidant, you can only go slowly when he starts to observe and realize that there's no danger around. Little by little, he'll start to trust more, step by step, and understand that there's no danger for him, but only if he doesn't feel any pressure on him. How can this manifest? So he might refuse to discuss painful topics. He might emotionally withdraw when there's something that needs to be discussed. He will avoid conflicts by withdrawing and going silent. For example, a woman wants to talk about a painful topic. She's trying to work through the situation, but he goes silent and withdraws. And that's why relationships can often fall apart. And here it is precisely the understanding of the partner, the characteristics of this type. It will allow for the development of the relationship if there's a desire. So, what should you absolutely not do with an avoidant? Pressure equals repulsion. The more you try, for example, to discuss a certain topic, the harder you push, the more you push him away. Being gentle and gradual is what will help in relationships with an avoidant. So, what will help develop a relationship with an avoidant? First, respect his boundaries. In fact, an avoidant reacts strongly to any intrusion into their personal space. So, if he's withdrawn and gone silent, if he wants to be alone, you need to give him that time and not intrude until he's ready to communicate more gently. And here it is necessary not to press, but to maintain balance. That is, you see, he is ready to talk, but don't go overboard. Don't revert back to pressure and timing. Respect his silence. If you see that the avoidant has perhaps become silent, you can indeed tell him that he can devote as much time to himself as he needs. But when he's ready to talk, then you'll be there to listen. That is, he will understand that he is not being stepped on. They give him time. They give him the opportunity to think things over, to be within himself. No one encroaches on his personal boundaries. When he is ready, he can start talking. It's this understanding that he's not being pressured, that he's not being forced or coerced. And it gives him the chance to gradually open up. Next, creating a safe emotional environment. The avoidant will only begin to trust when he realizes that he is not being judged. He is not accused. He is not criticized. If you listen to him without criticism, and even if his opinions do not coincide with yours, but you accept all his thoughts and feelings because they have a place to be, even if they are not similar to yours, then he will feel safe. And this is precisely the platform on which you can build further relationships. Show empathy. When a man is sharing something with you, even if the situation isn't great, and even if you would have handled it differently, try to put yourself in his shoes. Experience his feelings and support him, even if it's a tough situation. That is, when he feels that he can trust and that he is not being judged. Even if he realizes that he might have acted wrongly. If he knows you're on his side, meaning you're for him, not against him, then he'll trust you more. And don't give an ultimatum. An ultimatum actually amplifies fear, loss, and what pressures the avoidant makes him pull away. Pressure is always a push away. Ultimatum. This is pressure. So don't use any manipulation. Don't use any pressure methods. Otherwise, you will simply destroy the relationship with the avoidant. Further, open communication is what will allow you to gradually build relationships, happy relationships, harmonious relationships. When the avoidant understands that everything is safe, that everything can actually be good, that no one will reject him, no one is going to hurt him, that the partner is there for him, then it will be easier for him to trust and open up. And when you talk about your feelings calmly, he will understand that it is normal to talk about feelings, that it is possible to open up. So if you want your partner to start talking to you about his feelings, you should start by talking to him about yours. Open up, talk about maybe some of your experiences, thoughts, and feelings that you might have buried deep inside. Maybe share those emotions and feelings that no one knows about. And then the avoidant will understand that trusting isn't scary, that it's okay to open up. Further, don't be afraid to ask questions, but do it gently, without pressure. If you notice from your man's reactions that he's not ready to discuss a certain topic, give him some time, step back, and don't push. Otherwise, pressure equals pushing away. He'll withdraw, hide away, and go through it all. At some point, it might be easier for him to walk away from the relationship than to keep trying to build it. And lastly, accept his silence. If you see that he's gone off on his own, thinking about something, worrying about something, thinking, give him time. Let him understand that no one is pressuring him, that he has as much time as he needs. When he's ready, listen to him. The avoidant has such inviolable boundaries, and only if he gently begins to shift these boundaries, then you can gently approach. But as soon as you see that the one avoiding you does not let you into some territory, give it time. Give him time, and let him feel that you're on his side, that you're for him, not against him, and your relationship will really develop with an avoidant type. That's all I have for this video. This was me, Elisa Vardomskaya. I hope for your likes and subscriptions. Leave a comment about what you'd like to discuss in my new videos. Don't forget to hit the bell. Bye.